Everybody wants to live, pop bottles, and see some coochie popping.
Felt my soul leave my body.
Ew, cute. Because nobody dusty ass son is stressing me out. I think that society places that pressure of the rat race.
Mercury was in the microwave for way too long.
They give off that broke energy, and you can't do anything with it.
She's wearing latex.
Yeah,
He's like, that looks like a garbage bag.
Put it in a devil's coochie in it.
But listen, I needed the money.
I used to be that girl. I used to be that toxic fuck girl. You love it here, you love it here, you love it here, and y'all fucking love it here. Hi everyone, welcome back to Bottle Girl Diaries. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm your host, Cindy. First thing I want to do is take a moment to show you guys appreciation to our loyal subscribers and viewers. Thank you guys for always submitting feedback and all the support and the love that you've shown. That being said, let's keep it cute if you haven't already and click that subscribe button below so that you can stay up to date with us. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my girl Vanessa. She is the owner of Lawless Lashes. So if you use strip lashes, I most definitely recommend this brand. They're all handmade and very functional, and there's different styles for everyone depending on what occasion that you're attending. So some of the names were Icy Girl, Stella, and of course, you're gonna be supporting your small businesses. So I'll provide the link in the description box below. And also you can check out their Instagram handle at Lawless Lashes. Use code BGD15 for the homie discount. Because who doesn't love to save money? On today's episode, we're gonna talk about the industry and how it's a little bit harder of an environment to maintain fruitful friendships and relationships, and even healing from dating somebody in the industry. Before we go into that, we wanna share with you some funny and memorable moments from this year at Zouk Nightclub, you know, where we work and make the money. So we're gonna share these moments with you so far. So guys, Mikea, first year in the industry. How's that going for you?
I think it's going pretty great. You know, honestly, I was kind of scared at first. I come from a very humbling place of casino floor. And
Not casino floor.
Yes.
So y'all had to wear the ugly grandma
Okay,
dresses?
first of all, it wasn't ugly. I looked cute.
Okay, bitch, you have, do you got receipts?
I have receipts.
Okay.
I have plenty of receipts.
We're gonna pull up her
I
outfits.
always taking pictures because it was really a moment in that dress. It was a moment.
She said it was a moment. What casino did you work at?
So I first started at the Wynn. How? No idea. It was the only casino that I applied at. My sister told me to apply there, and I was a young little child coming into 21, my adulthood. I was like, okay, let me do some big girl stuff. So that's what I did. I applied there, and then they literally called me during the process of me actually trying to become a flight attendant, like my sister. And I had gone through like the last interview, and I didn't get it. And that was like one of the very first jobs that I never got.
Rejection is redirection.
It was humbling.
Period.
But you're right.
Period.
You're so right. And literally the next day, I had the Wynn call me and tell me to come in and, like, you know, start doing paperwork and stuff. So it was really great. That was the start of me being in the industry now.
Okay, so you were a cocktail server on the Wynn casino floor. Did you work in the high limit rooms?
I did, yeah. It was actually very fair. I really liked the way that the Wynn operated. We were on like a list, and every week we would rotate seniority.
Okay.
So if you were number 2 next week, you're gonna be number 1.
Okay.
And so you really got the chance to work every section. So I really liked that.
That's good. So you really love that dress then?
I really loved that dress. If I could have kept it and worn it to the club, I would have.
Okay, because most casino waitress dresses are...
Well, this was the Wynn, Miss Gurr, you know.
Okay.
They knew what they was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know? So how much did you average making, you know, as a casino waitress?
It wasn't bad. I mean, like every other night, I started off on graveyard because I was a very good child, and I didn't drink before I turned 21. Even when I turned 21, I didn't really like to drink like that still. So I knew nothing but what a margarita was.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to take my time and learn alcohols maybe for when people asked me for what they wanted. I would actually know what it was.
Yeah.
And not someone asked me for a black label and me run back to the bar, what is a black table? What is it? I was so embarrassed. It was so embarrassing, but I really took my time. So graveyard, it was whatever. It was enough to really, you know, get me by, of course, at the Wynn. But once I started working swing and I started living by myself. It was good. It wasn't too much less than what we're doing now.
But longer shifts, right?
But longer shifts, benefits, but that's always worth it. Yeah,
it's the benefits.
It's the
for
benefits
me.
for
dental
me.
insurance.
It's the dental
doctor,
insurance, the vision, you know.
Vision.
I was all
I
hooked
can't
up.
see right
I
now.
have glasses.
Okay, so, and then what did you do before you became a waitress?
I was a nanny before.
Okay.
Yeah, so it started off as me, just trying to find a job, anything I could do. I started working at a gym because I obviously work out. And they put me in the childcare. I was like, okay, that's cute. I can do that, So I started working with these kids, and I learned a lot from these kids. And then, I was like, I'm actually kind of good at it. And then I started working with more kids at Knott's Berry Farm. I was Snoopy and Charlie Brown, Miss Peppermint Patty. I was all of them.
So you had to wear the costumes?
I had to wear the costume. Oh, girl.
Was it hot in there?
It was hot as hell. Hotter than a devil's coochie in there. It was so hot. But from there, I started working at a little children's gym. And from there, I met parents, and they really liked me, and they would ask me to, babysit, nanny them on the side. So
did you talk about devil's coochie in front of the children?
They weren't ready for that yet. But they weren't ready for that yet.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I have to just bring up the video of when we did a presentation and Mikea got blown over by the cryo machine. Okay.
It was a humbling moment.
You know what? I got hit by it in the face, and that shit hurts.
It hurts.
It was like a hailstorm on my face.
I literally felt my soul leave my body for a couple seconds.
Well, which way did it hit you? From the back, the front, everywhere?
Straight down. Straight down. I was holding the sign, and it may have been like a foot behind me, right? So when it came down, it hit the back of the sign.
And then
so when it hit
pushed
the
you
back
over.
of the sign, I went, yeah.
Oh my God.
I went down.
Like
Bottle
immediate
girl,
blackout.
bottle girl's
Immediate
down
blackout.
one.
Yeah.
Bottle girl's down one.
I didn't even know what happened. I was like, okay, maybe.
You're like, my lawyer gonna like
maybe
this.
floor, maybe it wasn't.
Wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
So you watched over children, and now you're dealing with adult children.
Adult children. No, literally. I think that me being a nanny literally prepared me for this moment because honestly, the kids they were way more well behaved.
Yeah.
Than these buffoons.
Yeah. It's because they got money, and when dudes have money, they act up. They're feeling themselves.
How to act.
You know what, though? It's always the motherfuckers at the tables that aren't paying that act up the most.
The best friend.
They're like,
They're like, oh, don't get that bottle.
Over the check. Like,
I was like, sir,
They're like, I'm sorry.
I'm all, sir, you are a hard 5 at best. You need to get the most premium champagne, or else bitches will not come to this table.
not a hard
A
5.
hard 5 at best.
My favorite is when the hard 5s like to kick out. They're picky as fuck over these girls. They're like, this one I don't like. She's wearing latex.
Yeah, they'll
He's
tell
like,
you.
that looks like a garbage bag. This outfit looks like this. I'm like, sir.
Have you looked in the mirror? Again,
Have you?
hard 5. You can't be picky and choosy, sir. You should be even grateful that girls are coming within 5
Coming
feet
and
of
wanting
you.
to hang out
Especially
with you.
if
Like,
you're not gonna put the time in to go,
talk to them.
Talk to them.
You
We
expect
gotta
them to come over
go hunt them down, and then
and
when
do
we
the
bring
little
them,
weird interaction, and then you're like, they're not hot. I don't want them here. And I'm like,
what do
sir,
you want me to do about
Sir.
it? I can't.
have you looked in the mirror?
It's like Beauty and the Beast, my guy. Beauty and the Beast, okay?
It's money buys everything.
Right.
For me,
And money gonna buy you a good time tonight. So shut up and have fun.
I want to give Alicia a minute to just kind of introduce yourself, Miss Girl.
Miss girl.
Girl.
Well, hello. My name's Alicia. I'm born and raised here in Vegas.
Hey, woo woo,
Ew.
702.
When the house LV baby. I started off in the industry young-ish, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're from Vegas, you know that Red Rock is the spot, right?
Yeah.
Red Rock. So when I was at like 17, I wanted to work at the Red Rock pool. Like I was like,
that was it.
That's where I'm gonna work.
She said, that's my dream job.
I applied like at a bunch of pools for a lifeguard position, of course. But when I was 17, I got hired at Tropicana and Red Rock, and I was like, I'm going to Red Rock because they were bikinis and they were tiny. They were tiny. My mama was not happy. She was like, "You are underage."
So basically, 2 triangles and a triangle just
and
to cover the crack of your coochie.
And a scrunch. And it had a cute little like cross, like the red cross on it. Like a little. It was
Cute.
Cute. So I was like, that's where I want to be. But honestly, I'm so grateful that I chose the opportunity because that is where I was introduced to the idea of bottle girl service and everything. I want to say my second year in, my managers came from White Republic, and they're the ones who put the idea in my head, like, when you turn 21, you should go cocktail and you should audition. So when I turned 21, they were the first people I hit up. They helped me through everything. I worked at Red Rock for almost 4 years, up until I turned 21. And then I hit auditions. But unfortunately, I did not get anything the first, I want to say, it's weird because my birthday's in July, so you know that weird cusp. You have to wait for the whole next year. So the first year I auditioned, I didn't get anything. And then the second year, I didn't get anything.
So again, our auditions start in January to those viewers who I've already expressed this before, or I've already said this before, our auditions start in January. So you have to wait all the way until then. And they do some late hires,
right after the holidays.
It's hard. So, it wasn't until I turned 23 that I got, it was my year turning 23 that I got it. And I got hired at, I'm a double dipper.
I'm a double dipper.
I'm what the industry is like, you're not allowed to do that. But listen, I needed the money. So
gotta put me first.
I had to. I had a really weird situation. I got hired at Intrigue originally, but I never heard anything for the longest time.
Yeah.
And at the time, I guess I could backtrack this. At the time, I was working at Beauty and Essex. That's where I really started my cocktailing, but not nightlife cocktailing. So I started at Beauty and Essex. I was working for Tao Group. I told my manager, hey, is there any possibility I can go to Tao Beach, blah, blah, blah. I ended up getting hired both at Tao Beach and Intrigue. They finally gave me my call. I got my drug test. Everything went through. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take both. I was the bottom girl of seniority at Intrigue, so it worked out in my favor because I was not working crazy amounts. I pulled doubles. And then Intrigue came to a close.
That's like right when I started working there.
Yeah. So Intrigue came to a close. And luckily, I was one of 4 girls to move over to EBC at Night. And I rocked with EBC at Night for a few years. While I was at Tao Beach, I ended up leaving Tao Beach. And then during the pandemic, right when things opened back up, I got a call from Mikea, and they were like, would you be interested coming to work for us? And I was like, absolutely. So I did it again, and I did the doubles. And then there was a period where I was working 2 nightclub jobs right when Zouk was starting to do their hiring, or Zouk Group and IU. And I was really torn, and I just kept saying, like, hey, I really want to go back to this, but I don't know, like, basically, I wanted to be working day club, and I'm like, I can't do this night stuff anymore. So I got my call at IU, and I said goodbye to 2 really good places. And now we're rocking.
We're inside Zouk Nightclub under the mothership.
Sister.
We're rocking. Zouk Nightclub is making us money. We are blessed. And
we definitely are blessed.
It was hard. It was a really hard decision because I'm like, the fear of the fear of
chaos
leaving.
Was short-lived, and I have to just say this.
Much potential.
It did, but it didn't, and I'm gonna just say why. I truly think that they keep trying to revive the Palms, and they just need to let it go and just let it be like a local hotel. I wish nothing but the best and success for them. I do think that I think there's like an Indian reservation or tribe that bought it out. And I know that they have money. She goes, and which is great, but I don't know. I will just say this, that I think that a couple of the gentlemen that were running the Palms, they were just too worried about chasing tail, honestly. And he was out there cheating on his wife and with a waitress. And so, for me, I'm glad that I got out when it did. Yeah. So yeah, but let's go ahead and dive into today's episode, the topic of today's episode, which is, in general, I just feel like in this city, in this industry, it's a little harder to build fruitful, honest friendships and relationships. And then if you date somebody that's in the industry or involved with people in the industry, it's harder to get over them. And why do you guys think that is? And what's your, have you had an experience with that? Because I've had some trash ass experiences, but then I wonder,
friends in the industry. Drake. Your average, job is a regular 9 to 5, and you're mixed up with people who come from all different demographics and age groups. But in our industry, everyone's pretty much around the same age. Everyone's very attractive.
True.
And I feel like, but whether the relationship, I would think whether the relationship is platonic or like intimate, there is always like some weird type of off chemistry with certain people that you meet and certain people you encounter within your field. You know what I mean?
You want to know what I honestly think it is? I think that, gosh, this is so shitty. Like, this day and age, there's just so many options. Like, social media has made it very hard for faithful and monogamous relationships.
Yes.
And while some people might be okay with open relationships, I'm not. I am not sharing a guy that I'm having sex with, getting intimate with, that I'm living with, any of that. And I think it's hard because I've, dated a guy in the industry, and then next thing you know, he's dating one of my coworkers. And I think this is where we can't use the word friend lightly, because just because you work with that girl and you guys might have to communicate at work, be civil at work, be amicable at work, they're not your friend outside of the industry or outside of work, so they don't owe anything to you. And then it's hard because then you hear about that ex that you're trying to heal from.
Yes.
And so I've found that it's harder to heal from toxic relationships or relationships in general out here because, back at home, my parents would be like, you know what, you just need to surround yourself with good family, come to church, focus on your job, let's start crushing some goals. Out here, if I were to make a phone call right now and put it on speakerphone, I'd be like, hey, I'm really heartbroken over this guy. I'm not, by the way, because nobody dusty ass son is stressing me out. But if I were to call somebody and say, hey, like, I'm really brokenhearted over this guy, I don't know what to do. They'd be like, you know what? Let's go get fucked up tonight. Let's go out and drink. Just forget about it. Let's go have a good time. And while, it's fun in the moment, it doesn't take away the healing process.
It doesn't take the hurt away.
People don't, believe, in any type of spirituality or, meditation or anything that will kind of groom your mental health to a better place. And I used to be that girl. I used to be that toxic butt girl, I guess you could call it. And I realized that I was attracting what I was putting out there.
Yep, 1000%.
As well. So it's just, I think it's been harder. And also with friendships, like when I started in the industry, I had a couple girls that I thought were my friends, and out of nowhere, they just started acting funky toward me. It's just weird energy, and I don't like to think this way.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? But then
it's jealousy. It's jealousy. It's just straight up jealousy.
It's jealousy, or it's just maybe you don't fit the clique now anymore, whatever the case may be. But I think the biggest thing is to realize is that they're not friends. We can't use that label friends so
you can't use that term
heavily
lightly anymore.
Yes, no, because we get along. Like I said, we're all in the same age group. We all have the same interest. We all go out. We have fun. We have great personalities. There's a reason why we're in the jobs that we're in.
Right, because we know how to talk to people. Exactly. We know how to socialize. And also a lot of us have sex appeal. And why wouldn't you want to buy a big bottle of champagne for me? $50,000 for a bottle of Ace? Nothing crazy.
But even men, women, the girls, you're around like-minded people. So you're gonna, bad bitches attract, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna be friends with all these girls, and then all of a sudden it's you walk into work one day and someone's just not talking to you, and you're
it's
like,
weird.
What?
It's just weirdo energy.
How do we go from talking about aliens and life and open relationships and crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden, like, you walk into work and this girl's not fucking with you today.
Right.
And it's like, it's hard to grasp, and like, being a sensitive individual, I'm always like, geez, like, I thought we were cool. Like, did I do something? Like, now I'm like, do I need to check myself? Or is it maybe they're just having a bad day? Or maybe it's just like, you know what? We're really not friends. We're just coworkers. And we have a good conversation.
You know what? Maybe.
Now that I think about it, like,
I feel like I honestly used to care so much, but now I'm at a place in my life where if you want to leave, you leave. I'm done.
Here's
I'm
the
not,
scissors.
Yeah, right. Snip, snip. I'm
I'll
literally
hand you them right now.
Right. I said you need to cut it.
Period.
But I honestly feel like I'm not forcing anybody to stay. I'm not begging or trying to sell myself on someone to love me. None of that. Because I know how I move with good intentions. I know that if you're my friend and you're in my corner, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm glad I got Cindy in my corner. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, it's been harder, but I do think that there's a select few people that I've, I cling to. And I really do think we have a good group of waitresses at Zouk.
We do.
There's just no cattiness. I mean,
No
we've had our
drama.
little tiffs here and there.
It was rough in the beginning, but
Yeah.
it's because it was a merger of two different,
Two different venues. Yeah,
two different staffs. Some people, fell out, unfortunately, and there's some hurt feelings, of course, you know. But I think once we realized, like, everyone's here for a reason, and the reason's because they're good at what they do, you start to have respect for the person next to you and realize, like, this girl does what she does, and she helps me make money, and I do the same for her. How could I have anything wrong to say or have any animosity? We're all just here together making money.
Yeah, we're all here just to survive, and I like to surround myself with people who have a good head on their shoulders, because I feel like you have to have a balance. We work in the nightclub, but like literally there's people who go out and party every single night, and I can't do that. And I was that person. I definitely was that person.
My first year in the industry, I think for the first 3 months, I went out every single, like, no exaggeration, every single night.
Every single night, same.
I'm like, my poor liver.
I'm too drained after work to even leave my house. DoorDash and Instacart. All day, every day.
Not DoorDash and Instacart, girl. So how do you feel about people in the industry? Have they been fairly nice to you?
You know what? Like, honestly, that's what I was, like, really scared about the most. Even when I got hired as a cocktail server on the casino floor, like, my manager that hired me, she was like, so do you have any questions for me? I was like, so how are the girls? Like, and so, of course, coming into the industry, I thought I was getting bullied. I thought it was done for me. Like, I just had to come in, tunnel vision, mind my business. And honestly, I've never felt any type of way from anybody so far. Not from IU, not at Zouk.
Right.
Nobody's ever been mean to me. Nobody's ever, like, been catty or sneaky with me.
That's good.
But I also think it's also, I also, do the same. I'm not much
Just
of
be
a...
tunnel vision. You go in, clock in, clock out, make your money, and don't get caught in the mix or whatever. Because I've been that person, and if there's any advice I can give, it's just don't shit where you eat. Do not shit where you eat. It goes downhill from there. So yeah, but what I will say is that now that I am getting older, I am definitely working harder and more persistently on trying to build my dream to get out of the industry. So real quick, what do you see yourself doing? What is a long-term goal of yours, and how do you think you're gonna get there?
You know what?
And it's okay. I just want to say this is a safe space. It's okay to say maybe you're not set on one thing. You have a few different ideas, because let me just tell you this. I think that society places that pressure of the rat race, right? I read something the other day, and it was, I jumped out the rat race and I'm moving at my own pace. I don't chase, I attract. With that being said, you don't have to live up to society standards. If you want to be 40 years old and still working in whatever industry, whether you're, throwing your ass in a circle, whether you're serving cocktails, whether you're working the 9 to 5, it doesn't matter. Only society places what you should be doing on you. How do they know? And I'm a religious person, so I will say there's only God's plan knows what's right for me. He already knows my footsteps. Yes. So what would you say is a long-term goal of yours, and how do you want to get there?
Well, I think that to go off of what you just said, me being homeschooled and just being raised around like my sisters and my mom, like really, you know, taught me just that, to really just be myself and attract.
Right.
Whatever happens, and I feel like that's what I've been doing ever since I moved out here. I've just been whatever happens, yeah, and like look at where I'm at now, what I'm doing now, who I've met now, and right now I haven't even been in the industry for a whole year yet. Like we're barely creeping up on that 1 year, and I've just been having fun. You know,
and that's all you need
go
to
Mexico
do.
a couple times, you know, buy a couple bags or whatever. And you know,
hold on. You bought the couple bags, or someone bought you the bags?
No, I bought a couple bags. I did.
Okay, and the trips.
I saw the TikTok.
I did.
And the trips.
I bought the trips too.
Okay.
No, trust me. I wish.
You wish you didn't.
I wish I didn't. But I did.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Unfortunately, I did. And yeah, I think I'm good for now. I think I got it out of my system, and now I want to start, you know, being smart with my money. You know, thinking about what I'm gonna put it towards, where I'm trying to go. You know, I do want to have like a backup, obviously, but I love taking life day by day. I love not stressing about what's coming next. Like I used to always just stress for no reason about what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna get people like me? How am I gonna get to the top of stardom? How am I gonna, you know what I mean? Be a material girl. And I don't want to think about it.
How am I going to be a material girl?
I don't want to think about it. I just want to do it. I just want to live life. And I think, you know,
Live, laugh, love.
Like, I want to live, laugh, and love. And I don't know, I'm not too like religious anymore. I grew up very Christian.
Okay.
But I believe there's a God, there's a higher, you know,
There definitely
power.
is a higher power. Yeah.
And I believe that he got me. It got me. She got me.
Listen, God will spin the block for you, girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Just move authentically, stay in your light. I just want to let you know that I absolutely love your energy. And I want you guys to know as viewers that when I choose people to come on this channel, I choose girls that I feel like can bring something. Is my titty out?
No, you're good.
Because if
I thought there was something on me, but I think it was just my hair. I was like,
A spider!
I select, you know, the girls very carefully now because, you know, you can be a pretty face, but if you don't come with me with some personality, some humor, you know what I'm saying?
And
like
genuine
and
growth.
just genuine growth and vibes. Like that's what I'm trying to feel is the good energy here. So yeah. But you know what? Like one thing that I'll say is my advice is this is I moved to Vegas a lot later than a lot of girls. And so I'm kind of just barely living my life. Like example, I went to Coachella for my first time. You know, I've done the sponsored trips. I've had a bag bought for me. I bought my own bags. I've dated the athletes. I've dated, you know, the people in the industry. And now I'm finally in a place where I feel like I'm ready to settle down. So I'm taking applications.
I will be reviewing as well.
what's your ring size?
I'm a 6. But I am ready to settle down and really just focus on my future. I'm not really out turning up anymore, but when I do, I'm still that bitch, you know. Bottle girls.
Bottle girls.
But yeah, so I think that we just have to go at our own pace, you know, stop trying to do the rat race. And you're right, tomorrow is not guaranteed.
It's not, that's the thing.
Look at what's going on in the universe, in the earth, you know, or in the world today, I should say.
Making appearances. Like,
Yeah.
what if one just does the planet tomorrow? I didn't buy that bag. I didn't go to Mexico.
I need to buy that bag.
Like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yep, you gotta do it.
And a material girl's what you gotta be.
And it's what I gotta be.
All right, and Lisa, what about you?
This is like one of the hardest questions
It's
I feel
hard.
like. Because this is what I've been struggling with so much. I feel like I have been in the industry for so long, but in reality, it hasn't been that long. I feel like I'm going through my burnout period, you could call it, where I'm just drained and I'm ready for the next step.
You can feel it in your spirit when you're ready to shift. Yeah.
It's shifting majorly. I'm like, wow, I didn't get to really pay attention to all the blessings that I did have when I am still in this industry.
Right.
While working and making this money, I wasn't always financially responsible like I should have been. And now I'm not in the settled down phase yet, but I'm getting into that, okay, let me start doing something else. Let me move my money in a different way. Let me do this so that it's better in the long term for myself. I didn't want to buy a house originally because I was like, I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do all this stuff, same thing. And now I'm like,
Right.
should have bought some property. Like I need
going up.
a little something. But you live and you learn, and like that's one of the biggest things I'm grateful for. I think my number one life purpose, and I know whatever it is, it will get me there, is I want to help people find their authentic self, and I want to help people like know that like life has you. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure people are good, whether it's with their mental health or. So I'm not sure exactly what guide I want to go through or what path I want to take. I'm very torn between going back to school and getting my master's and doing counseling and everything like that. And then another part of me is kind of just like, do it yourself, start a nonprofit, do it, and just build from the ground up, because at the same time, I love the flexibility that I have with this job. I love that I have no stress with me, like, I mean, lately, but because life is hitting hard.
It's hitting.
Mercury was in the microwave for way too long.
Yes,
it was there for way too long.
Mercury is in Reposado.
Is she a Reposado?
It's in Reposado, and it's expensive. So. Can we put the price down, please? Anyway. So just, finding that path is the biggest thing, but I know in my heart I'm going to make it, and I know I'm going to be okay. Mm-hmm. It's just finding which way to go,
Listen, all I got to say is just stay prayed up, manifest, whatever, the ways that you like to bring your blessings in. Mm-hmm. And God, the universe, the divine, whatever you believe in, will meet you there. Uh-huh. Well, that wraps up today's episode of Bottle Girl Diaries. Thank you all for tuning in, and I really hope that you enjoyed. Our goal is to obviously get monetized, so I appreciate if you guys would share our episodes on your social medias to keep getting the channel out there. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming up next. You can also follow our Instagram page at Bottle Girl Diaries Official, or my personal page at I am Cindy Nansiri, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye.